I just feel like he's being very heavy-handed, a little bit sloppy maybe with how some of these things are put into place without a lot of thought.
This farmer is on the brink of losing his farm, and he's still trusting Trump. Like, he literally said out his mouth that he said we have to trust the process, even if his family starts to fall apart financially and they start to break apart. They say he has to trust the process and trust in our president. Hey, listen, at that point, you're dedicated. So it's unfortunate that so many farmers are out here really struggling out here because of the funding that's being paused. On top of that, tariffs are destroying all the profits that farmers are having. We're not even talking about soybeans. I'm just talking about just general farming. And honestly, who knows where the bottom is, because this is just the beginning. Listen, I thought your typical MAGA voter was out of their mind, but listen, he said, hold my beer. This is crazy. It gets worse. So stay tuned for the entire video if you want to see this guy. Hey, it's gonna blow your mind.
Nebraska's biggest part of their economy at GDP is farming.
Right.
And they said 45 to 65% of the workforce is undocumented.
45 to 65%?
Yes. So
oh, shit.
with Trump rounding up illegals, what have those illegal immigrants done? They jump ship. They don't want to get raided while they're working.
No,
they don't want they don't want to get families broken up. So now so they predicted that Nebraska is 2/4 away from being bankrupt. The whole state, because there's no workers. Half of their workforce is undocumented immigrants. So now Nebraska is in a panic, is in an uproar.
This is not hippy dippy stuff we're doing here. We're farming. We're raising cattle for butcher. We're raising cattle for milking. Like, we're raising chickens to butcher. Like, this is not some like liberal nonsense. We're trying to do good things to provide good food to the American people and take care of our local environment while we do it.
What percentage of your workers are not U.S. born?
Probably half.
About half?
Yeah.
How many hours does this go on?
It's 24 hours a day. You know, we could milk 8 hours a day, but it wouldn't be feasible or profitable for us to produce milk.
So you need workers like this year-round?
Yes, yes.
Governor Kristi Noem of South Dakota, her farm is just a few miles away. This farmer who voted for her, who voted for Trump, who still supports them, doesn't believe that they would round up immigrants and ask them for their immigration status, because it's an open secret that farms in this state are held up by undocumented workers. Are you worried, like some of your other farmers, that if there were a mass roundup of undocumented migrants, that you might lose workers, you might not have enough workers?
Well, the question I asked, how are they going to do that? Within 2 days, we will not have food. There will not be food anywhere.
2 days?
Yes. That's why I predict nobody will be filling the shelves, nobody will be producing food. If we once have to shut down and be gone, it's never coming back.
Does Governor Noem understand that?
I would think so.
You have a lot of faith that they're not going to do what they're saying.
That's pretty much what I'm thinking. So we have to trust in our officials that are put in place.
I really honestly didn't think that the tariffs would actually happen. I didn't really think the tariffs would affect me personally. Look what we got now, guys. Next weekend is the auction. Selling everything, generations of hard work, you know, it's all gone. You know, in just 4 months, and people said, don't vote that way. You're going to go broke. They're going to destroy you. You're going to go broke. Don't vote that way. And I thought they were crazy, you know, but 1,000% tariffs on my jackrabbit poison that comes from Mars. I can't fucking afford that anymore. You know, and I voted for the state ordinance to move in the top secret facility that was genetically modifying jackrabbits. And I didn't know that. They said my vote yes for that secret facility was going to bring in billions of dollars to the state. It was great for the state of Kansas. 3 of those fucking jackrabbits escaped and came to my ranch. And they fucking multiply so fast, guys. All they do is fuck. And now they're eating my cows. They ate my topsoil. I'm done, guys. I give up. I'm selling everything to J.D. Vance, and I'm moving to the fucking Bahamas, and I'm going to get fucking drunk on pina coladas and live the high fucking life. Fuck you, farming. There's a lot better life than this. Ha!
Honestly, in the long term, I do think it's good for us. A little short-term pain for some long-term gain. 5-10 years from now, hopefully there will be bring more manufacturing here. But we're going to have to go through this painful period. I do think it was part of the plan. He's not stupid, right? Like, he knows what he's doing. He's gotten to this point. I think it was part of his plan. To the degree that it has been so volatile, I don't think that was necessarily part of it, or the 90-day pause this close to him announcing the tariffs. I don't know if that was part of it, but I do think, he's not stupid. I think he's got a plan to it all on it.
I think it's part of the plan. Sounds like he knows what he's talking about. He is a businessman at the end of the day, so I don't know. I'm not too worried about it. I thought this is exactly what was supposed to happen. Like, the stock markets were going to crash and then they're going to go up again. So that's kind of how I'm feeling about it. I think a lot of people didn't respect Biden, so hopefully Trump is laying down the law a little bit harder so that those other countries respect him more and respect the United States, because I feel like we have been getting screwed over by a lot of countries for a long time. So
I think everybody has an opinion. They're entitled to it, but I think the United States needed some change because the economy really has struggled over the last few years. I know personally, just going shopping, my bill has increased probably at least 50%. I think he's very strategic in a lot of what he does. Not popular opinion necessarily, but I think it's there's strategy behind it. And I have to, as an American, I've always typically trusted the president. And he's not super powerful by himself. He's got a lot of support behind him. So I think his strategy, yeah, I think he's pretty clever. He's a smart businessman. I think he's got a plan bigger than what people see it as.
Workers and American taxpayers have been taken advantage of for multi-generation, for decades. And it's time for somebody to stand up and put us first and put the country first and do what's best for the country, not what's best for the politicians.
Even if you as a farmer suffer.
That's right.
Some people would hear that and be quite surprised that you're prepared to put your livelihood, your family's livelihood, on the line for the sake of politics.
Well, that's my duty as for being the head of my household. I've got to do what I got to do, what's going to be better for the future, better for the kids. It's not about today, it's about the long term. The long game is where the rewards are going to be.
But don't the price of tariffs and what happens in commodity markets like soybean, doesn't that affect you in the short term and affect your ability to provide for your family?
Look, tariffs will probably have a detrimental effect on soybean price in the near future. In the long term, it'll probably work out. I'm a farmer. I deal with bad weather. I deal with dry weather. I deal with torrential rains. We deal with hurricanes. What's a tariff going to do? I got to raise a crop. If I was worried, I'd stay home and not raise a crop. If I was worried about it, I still got to get out there and raise my crop to get the price. If you don't get the yield, it doesn't make any difference. I got to deal with all these other things. What's a tariff? I can't control that.
Hey guys, it's Will, and I'm here at the mushroom house at the farm. And I got to be honest with you right up front. There's no way to make this video without it sounding like an I told you so video. And I apologize for that ahead of time, but the truth is it's got to be told. Many of you remember before the election, I did several videos where I tried to speak to rural America, particularly farmers and ranchers, to talk to them about the ramifications of a second term for Donald Trump. And in several of those videos, I talked about the fact that if we were to elect Donald Trump and he were to impose a second round of tariffs on China, the results would be devastating. And if you think hard about it, you'll remember what we talked about. Number one, we talked about the fact that China wasn't prepared for the tariffs in the first Trump administration. They had a disease going through their hog population. They didn't have good stocks of row crops, so they were caught off guard. And they had to continue to buy some American pork and some American row crop products in order to survive the tariffs, especially the time of C-19. But we also talked about what's happened since then. The Chinese no longer have a disease going through their pork population, and they're well stocked in pork. And in addition to that, they've reached out to South America and made best friends with the governments of Brazil and Argentina. And they are importing a lot of wheat and corn and soybeans from South America, to the point where Brazil, which used to supply China with only 13% of their row crops, is now supplying them with over 43% of their row crops.